Okay, I'm not going to put fan art on this episode. It's not that it's not appropriate, it's that I want to get right to the point. YouTube sucks. All right? YouTube as a platform sucks. Now, I know that there's going to be somebody when they figure out what this episode is about, and not that the title isn't already going to let you know, but they're probably going to say something like, sucks when the censorship happens to you, but no, these are very different things. Let's talk about... This isn't censorship. This is YouTube's botting system fucking up. And I have evidence of it fucking up. And I will show that to you all here in just a second. So, we have here a lovely channel strike. Now, of course, we had the first strike that ever stuck on my channel, the one where I made the Steven Anderson is gay YouTube poop. That one I appealed and it got rejected, and that sucked, but you know, it's whatever. I don't care about that one. So, this one here. I don't know if I can zoom in on it any better. I made a video called "The Vaccine is the Mark of the Beast and Other Stupid Things I Used to Believe." Now, I gotta ask, with a title like that, is it not easy to tell that I don't legitimately believe that the vaccine's the mark of the beast? Right? Just from title alone, that should be easy. It should be a no-brainer. But YouTube struck that video recently. And that strike, the appeal has already been rejected. So this isn't something that I can submit the appeal for and then just be like, yeah, they'll take care of it, it'll be fine. No, that's not happening. But I mentioned that this is their bots, more than likely, and that part of their system just doesn't work. So the interesting part of this video is not that I received a strike. Here is the email from YouTube for when this strike got appealed. Hi, Suris. We have reviewed your appeal of the following content. Video, the vaccine is the mark of the beast, and other stupid conspiracies I used to believe. Again, for anybody that knows about this fucking typeface here, this formatting, it's obviously sarcasm, okay? But they said, we reviewed your content carefully. Note, they said carefully. And they've confirmed that the content violates their medical misinformation policy. They know that this is disappointing news. And their job is to make sure that YouTube is a safe place for all, which is why Call for an Uprising is still on YouTube, I'm sure. How will this affect your channel? We won't putting your content back up on YouTube. And then they go further and say that you won't be able to upload for a week, which of course is why none of you have gotten episodes for a week over on YouTube. I've received a few things in my inbox and over on my Discord where people have asked, why aren't you uploading? Are you okay? The answer is, well, one, I'm not okay, but two, more importantly, I'm not getting super personal with this right now. Just talking about mechanically, this happened. Simple Cat Girl with the 10 bits. YouTube and TikTok's bots are the worst. They can't understand complex situations in satire or comedy. Yep. But here's where things get weird. Here's where things get really inconveniently weird. Okay? I took this screenshot the day it happened. Because the appeal went through at 3:08 a.m. And if anybody wants evidence of that, then please go check Twitter, where around that time I was tweeting about this bullshit. Okay? Cool. Moving on. Here is another email from YouTube on May 13th. Hello, Suris. We have reviewed your appeal for the following content. Video, the vaccine is the mark of the beast and other stupid conspiracies I used to believe. Before we continue with the video, I want to go ahead and throw out that fun reminder that we are on YouTube, so if you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so. It would be an immense help for the channel, and those numbers really do mean a lot. And if you want to catch any of what goes on this channel live, then the best thing you can do is head over to Twitch and hit that follow button over there so you can know when I go live there. Alrighty, I'll stop taking up your time here. Back to the video. After taking another look, we can confirm that your content does not violate our community guidelines. Thank you for your patience while we reviewed this appeal. Our goal is to make sure that content doesn't violate our community guidelines so that YouTube can be a safe place for all, and sometimes we make mistakes. So, yeah, YouTube, I think sometimes you make mistakes. Because I've already appealed this once. And I've already won the appeal once. Why is it that when my video is shown to not, again, evidence here, not violate your terms of service, why is it that 4 months later, you can then claim that it does violate your terms of service? What changed? It wasn't your terms of service. I believe this is YouTube's bot system flagging the video again. Now, I was under the impression, once upon a time, that if a video gets flagged and you win the appeal, the video then has a flag on it saying that it was fine. That the video is good to go and you don't have to do any work again on it because you've already done it, just like with monetization. However, what I've learned from this and previous experience is that when a video is confirmed good for advertisers, and when a video is confirmed to not violate YouTube's terms of service, that does not protect the video, nor does it protect your channel. Now, why does this matter? Well, one, it means that I might be fighting the same fight over and over again on the same videos going forward in perpetuity. And let me tell you, that sounds inconvenient. And that feels inconvenient. It's also dangerous. So, YouTube is my primary source of income. Were I to have my channel deleted right now, which we'll get into, that is a possibility. Were my channel to get deleted right now, about 2,000? Thereabouts. My income from YouTube, which is about 2,000-ish a month. I don't know if I'm legally allowed to say that. I don't remember if YouTube's terms of service says I can't. But it doesn't matter what YouTube's terms of service say, apparently, in this particular regard, because they go back on their TOS anyway. Again, my video already passed that check. About $2,000 a month, which is my YouTube revenue, would go away. That is money that is being used to pay for medical expenses, debt for dental expenses. It is being used to pay for health insurance. And of course, it's being used to pay for my mortgage, housing, literally keeping us alive. Now, strikes are not forever. Strikes can fall off. This strike will expire on November 11th. But let me talk about something that happened previously. I already went over this in my last video talking about YouTube's algorithm and strikes and all that, so we're going to talk about it again real quick. Also, Zozo, thank you very much for the Tier 1 subscription. It has been half a year already. But let's talk about how their bots work. On my channel, I have over 800 episodes. 800. Now, what that means is YouTube's bots have 800 potential episodes to throw a strike at. And they do so, from what this seems like, almost randomly. Now, you might say, well, maybe if you just titled the video safely, don't mention COVID in the title. No, we shouldn't have to do that. We shouldn't have to play by those rules. If the video does not violate terms of service, that should be the standard. We shouldn't have to play some fucking mind game with these bots. In a desperate attempt to keep our videos safe, if the videos are deemed safe by YouTube, by human review, that should be the bar. And as I showed before, I have already once cleared that bar. Now, as I said before, when you get a strike, if you get 3 strikes, I said this in a previous video, if you get 3 strikes on YouTube, your channel's terminated. That's it. Boom. Done. Capiche. Channel's gone. With 1 strike on my channel, an event that I've already had happen once before could happen. I don't want it to happen, but it could. And that event is me getting 2 strikes from their bots simultaneously. Again, there are over 800 episodes on this channel. That is 800 potential episodes to get struck. And I've already had a double strike before. Now, those things got appealed in a couple of days. But if those 2 strikes happen while this strike is already active, I'm sorry, this strike, the emails look so similar, you see, then the channel's gone and I have a different fight. Because the appeal process is quick, right? The appeal process is I click a button that's normally here, and then I appeal, and then I get feedback very quickly. If the channel is gone, I have to go through customer service. I have to start exchanging emails with YouTube. And if I start exchanging emails with YouTube, well, the last time this happened, it took me about a month to get my channel back. Because remember, the channel got stolen once, and got deleted by YouTube. It's not that it's not recoverable, it's that it's a giant fight, and it would mean that there's an entire month of lost revenue there. Now, I don't know how many of you in the audience are in a position where you can just lose a month of revenue and it's fine, but I'm not. Nor have I ever been. I've never been in a position in my life where losing a month of revenue is something I can shrug off. That's usually something that has me on the cusp of homelessness. Now, the perfectly honest answer is I would not be homeless should I lose my channel immediately, not in the first month. But I would not be paying any of my other bills. I'd basically be paying mortgage and car insurance. And that would be it. Because that would be about all I could afford at that point. That, food. YouTube, doing this, directly hurts the people who work on their channel. And it is work. We get sent a 1099 at the end of the year. It's considered freelance work. It is a thing that I have to calculate taxes for. People who work with YouTube should not have to deal with this. This is basically the equivalent of having a hostile work environment. If you feel like your existence on a platform, when you are not breaking any laws or rules, especially rules for the platform itself, is a ticking time bomb. When you feel like you existing on the platform is a grenade, that's hostile. That's not safe. That's not safe financially. That's not safe for people's mental health. Now, I'm not saying this to complain about my particular situation. Woe is me. I am using myself as an example here. There are YouTubers who are renting as opposed to having a mortgage for their home, meaning that them getting evicted from their home is an instantaneous thing, whereas I can actually have a little bit of a fight on my hands. It's an instantaneous thing for them. It's their check could be the difference between them and homelessness instantly. This is not a call to go to my Patreon. This is not a call to send money via PayPal. This isn't a GoFundMe. This isn't any of that shit. This is me pointing out a problem in a system. A system that is broken, and I am an example of that system being broken. Meanwhile, channels like Call for an Uprising that have had channels deleted, which should mean that they are not part of the platform anymore from that point on, managed to keep their dummy channels up with no issues whatsoever. I would like a world in which YouTube is a safe platform for everybody. I would like that, but it's currently not. Both in the type of content that they do allow, and in the mismanagement of the content that they are supposed to allow. Now, I don't want to rely on the mechanisms that somebody who is scummy, like Paul, has relied on to keep their channel alive, bouncing between dummy channels to avoid strikes accumulating. I don't want to do that, because I don't find that to be an honest tactic. I would like to continue to work within YouTube's terms of service, and operate within the rules that I have agreed to when I became a creator on this platform. I don't want to have to rely on scummy, underhanded tactics to keep a channel afloat and alive. But YouTube doing stuff like this incentivizes creators to rely on those types of underhanded tactics. It incentivizes them to not upload for long periods of time, waiting for strikes to fall off while they put their content on other competing platforms. Things like BitChute, things like Odyssey. So, I said it before and I've said it again. I don't want to take the route of not doing things like debunking COVID conspiracy theories, because I think there is value in having the debunks there for people who don't quite understand why things like the COVID vaccine are safe. What I don't want to do, though, is continue to make that kind of content in an environment that is going to facilitate this. And YouTube, again, I hate to reiterate this, I hate to repeat things, but YouTube, you already deemed this video as acceptable. You already deemed this video as not violating your terms of service. You already accepted that this video, this one right here, was perfectly okay on your platform. And then, after having already determined that, you do this. And if it's happening to me, it's happening to other channels too. It's not just a me issue. Donating to my Patreon is not going to fix this. So what does fix this? Well, spamming the absolute shit out of YouTube via email, spamming the absolute shit out of their customer service via Twitter. Go ahead, link my video as an example to show that something is wrong in their system. And we will either get clarification, which we'll read that potentially as bullshit, or we might be able to do something to actually fix this problem. If you know any other creators who might potentially be larger than me, or even smaller than me, who have had this happen to them as well, where the same video gets reviewed twice, and magically it doesn't break TOS once, but it does some other time, as if the time changed things, then showcase them instead. It doesn't have to be me. But if you're already watching this video, there's a link right above me in the URL. Or if you're watching on mobile, there's a share button. You have the ability to throw this on any platform. Any at all. And it would take you no time. If you're going to throw it on places like Twitter, ideally, please at YouTube support. So that we can try to get some answers for why this is happening. And again, it doesn't have to be me as a content creator. This isn't about me. This is about YouTube and the type of environment that it is creating for its users and for its creators. I'm going to be quite frank with you. To the people in charge over at YouTube, we make you. Without us as content creators, you as a platform cease to exist. There is no reason to be on YouTube if there are not creators producing content for the platform. You rely on us. So please, I implore you, do not abuse us. With all that said, if you do want to support this channel, the ways to do so are always in the description. But again, the best thing you can do in response to this video right now is to share it. I don't need your dollars for this. I need numbers. I need YouTube to change a broken system. Because if it's happening to me, it's happening to somebody else. It's happening to somebody else who's in a worse position who can't afford it happening to them. With all that said, as always, everyone, insert end of video tagline here.